WrestleLost. Can you believe it? King Bad God. Oh. I see that, JR. It's triggered. It's Johnny. It's Drew. Can you believe it? It's going to be a slobber knocker. As they say, anything can happen on WrestleLost. Welcome to WrestleLost Swamps.
Oh, yes, you can hear that here. It's the WrestleLost Derbycast.
The sniper.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to WrestleLost. What a couple of days it has been. It's been a roller coaster ride. So to get it going, here's Johnny.
Yeah, so we're going to start off with some not so serious news. In fact, something that we found out today, what I would call the bullshit news of the week. And I don't know, have you, does Andrew know about this, what we were talking about earlier?
I don't think he does.
Okay, good. We're going to get a live reaction then. So Freddie was telling me earlier that, so you remember the Shockmaster, right? He botched his debut in WCW on live TV. Well, the helmet that he wore has been sold for $850,000. Now, I'm going to let you guess who bought this. Now, I'll give you a couple hints. It's a female, and this news was reported by TMZ. It's going to shock you.
Oh, good Lord. I have no clue. Angelina Jolie. Why not?
No. No, actually, no. This person has a lot more money than Angelina Jolie. It was bought by Kim Kardashian.
Okay. And why?
I have no idea. I mean, good for whoever had possession of that helmet. They just banked. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what her motivation was for buying this. I didn't even know she was a wrestling fan. If she is,
Look, let's say this is true. It's TMZ, so it's probably true. Let's say she did buy it for that amount of money. Obviously, we're going to talk because that's what we do. So we talked and we said, maybe in a perfect world, some of that money would be donated to Jay Briscoe's family. Because whoever sold it to her probably upcharged the shit out of it.
Yeah, because I don't think
it is.
I don't think a normal person would even pay that much. I mean, people don't have that kind of money, but still.
Yeah, that's just weird to me. When I read it, I said, "What the fuck is going on?" But a little bit of awkward wrestling news to start out.
Yeah. Okay. It was reported this week that Devon Dudley has left WWE. This follows. Well, I don't know if they're connected, but last month he was scheduled to be at a BCW show in Philadelphia, which is supposed to be like some sort of ECW type reunion, and he was gonna be there with Bully Ray, but WWE found out about it and they threatened to fire him if he would attend, so he pulled out. But this means that now he's free to do whatever he wants. I don't know if he wants to get back into wrestling. Bully Ray is a free agent. I'm just saying, Tony Khan. Sign him up. You already got the Hardys in there. You got Christian. Edge might be next.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about how it could be impossible for that to happen, but doesn't seem too impossible now to have at least two of the three legit teams, you know?
Yeah.
Because Devon being tied with WWE probably wouldn't have been able to do it, but he's not there anymore. So he's good to go as long as he wants to. And Bubba, you know, he will. And if you're going to bring him in, you might as well say fuck it all and have him use the name, right?
Right.
Yeah. So that's two of the three. Like Christian's still out with injury, so who knows
Yeah.
when he's going to come back. And Edge is a little tied up at the moment.
Yeah.
But it would be nice, though.
Yeah. Well, this last week on Raw, they announced that Cody is going to return at the Rumble. Thanks for taking away one of the surprises. They said they did that because a lot of people were expecting him to come back, and because they think that they got some bigger surprises that are going to happen at the Rumble. They're pleased with the surprises they have in store. So we'll see what that entails next Saturday.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what surprises they have up their sleeve, but I just hope everything with Vince hasn't clouded the mind of Triple H, hasn't distracted him at least. I just hope they do everything they decided to do because, as we all have heard, Vince is wanting to change some shit. And I'm not saying he's succeeding, but that's what he wants to try and do.
Yeah. And I'll get to that in a minute because we can't seem to go a week without talking about Vince anymore.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. And this past Monday night on Raw, they announced that this coming Monday night is the Raw 30 show or Raw Triple X. Don't search that. Don't Google that. That not only are there going to be lots of legends there, but they're also going to have a acknowledgement ceremony for the Bloodline, and they said that they're going to have representative from every generation of the Bloodline in WWE history. So we're talking Wild Samoans, not Haku, Samu, Manu, Rikishi. Obviously unfortunately can't get Yokozuna or Rosie or Umaga, but they'll be there in spirit. But there's also another name that is out there that a lot of people are speculating might be a Raw. That's The Rock. And that he will show up to start his push for a WrestleMania match against Roman Reigns, despite The Rock tweeting out that he's not in any shape to wrestle right now.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That was my answer as well. And I forgot who said it, but someone did say there is a difference between being in shape and being in in-ring shape. And he looks more in shape than he ever has been.
Yeah. I was telling Freddie it looks like I'm surprised his body hasn't exploded.
Yeah. Yeah. With everything he does, because he has a crazy ass routine. he's up at like 4 or 5 in the morning, already in the gym,
Yeah.
and he does that shit a couple of times a day. I mean, when you got unlimited amounts of money,
And
and
when you're not
star,
filming a movie, you got nothing else to do.
yeah.
When is he not filming the movie then? Seems like he's always filming a movie. He has one come out every year.
Yeah, I mean he's the highest paid actor, the most in demand.
But even if he was filming a movie, like one of his demands is, I need a gym there somehow.
Yeah,
So
and
even
there's
on
way
the movie set, he'll be working out.
and there's ways around a movie schedule for him to wrestle. As long as he's careful and he doesn't get hurt, because the movie studios, they don't like that. That happened when he faced Cena at WrestleMania a decade ago.
Yeah.
Also, another sign that The Rock may be coming back is that WWE Shop released 2 new Rock hoodies. Now, I mean, they're playing it off, saying that this was mostly just for the 30th anniversary of Raw, but come on.
Yeah. I've seen a whole bunch of people say the same shit that I've been thinking ever since I heard all of this. You're not fooling anybody. You're not going to fool this guy. So, yeah. I personally think he's going to be there.
I do too.
He was a big deal for Raw.
Yeah.
So, of course, he's going to be there during Raw Triple X.
Okay, now to the weekly Vince news.
I was just going to say, he's going to be there. Freddie's favorite person is going to be there too.
He wasn't advertised.
Yeah, but he's going to show up.
Why?
There's not enough time. It's only a 3-hour show. I know we complain always about having a 3-hour show, but for the number of stars that are wrestlers that are coming back, yeah, there's not enough time. Oh, and then we're going to get the commentating team of Corey Graves, Kevin Patrick, and Jerry Lawler. That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
The King.
Okay. And since you brought up Jerry Lawler, I don't have all the details, so I can't go deep into it. I'll have to. This is something that just came out today. So it hasn't happened yet. So nobody knows that many details. But the King did put out a tweet and said that he was having his first match in a very long time.
Why?
I don't know.
Who's going to fight? Michael Cole?
Right. I mean,
it's at an indie show, so
okay.
We'll hear about it throughout the week, I'm sure. But just why though?
But he had a heart attack. He died on Raw. He died on Raw, and was brought back. And I think just like we saw with DeMar Hamlin a couple weeks ago, I don't think it's safe.
No. Look, I don't know how it's going down or how it came about, but one could only hope he was bullshitting around. But the King don't bullshit. So we'll have to wait.
I mean, that doesn't make a difference because he was wrestling after the heart attack too. I mean, at I think it was 2018. He was in New Orleans Mania where they had WrestleCon, and he like threw a fireball, lit Joey Ryan's balls on fire or something like that.
Yeah, but he's getting older, man. He doesn't need to be wrestling.
He's been older.
I was trying to keep it somewhat.
I think he turned 74 this year.
All right. So he shouldn't be doing this.
He's the same age. He's same age as Ric Flair.
Yeah, he's 73.
And Ric Flair wants another final match. So I don't know what's going on with these old farts.
Oh, and Ric Flair is going to be there too on Monday.
Maybe Rick's going to wrestle Jerry.
Oh.
I swear, if that is a match they announce for Monday, I'm gonna fucking lose my shit. But yeah, Jerry Lawler's out there having matches. So prepare for either really good, fun news or really bad news.
Please, after news that we got this week, no.
No, please, no more bad news.
So speaking of bad news, there was another Wall Street Journal article came out this week saying that Vince settled with Rita Chatterton for an undisclosed amount. It was a multi-million-dollar deal. She did want $11.75 million, but they brought that down, but still a lot. And there was also an SEC filing that was made on the 17th that stated that Vince now does not have to answer to shareholders when it comes to making decisions. Pretty much he can do what he wants. And that since that came out, or in the last couple of weeks, there have been 2 separate lawsuits filed against Vince, class action lawsuits in the state of Delaware. One by the Detroit Police and Fire Retirement Fund, and the other one is from thousands of shareholders who saying that Vince is overstepping his bounds by changing the bylaws and putting himself in control. And actually, these lawsuits could even prevent
the sale.
Yeah.
Right.
So I have no idea what his thought process is anymore. I don't think he's thinking right. I mean, he never has. But
well, we've been telling you he's been delusional for the last 5 years.
Well, yeah. I mean, they said that the reason the creative was so bad over him that the reason that we saw rematch after rematch is because he forgot he booked the match the week before.
I just wish, and this is a bad wish in a way, because that just means more bad shit would have happened. I wish enough accusations would come out that it would just drain him dry of all the money he has. Even the money that he sells WWE for. Like, let it all go to lawsuits. That way we can finally get rid of Vince. And I don't know how this sale is going to pan out. Yeah. But some people seem to be under the thought of even when he does sell, they're going to want him in a position of power just because of who he is and what he did with WWE. So even when he sells, we might not even get rid of his ass.
And as far as the sale goes, they were saying that the price that WWE wants is $8.5 billion. I know they said the Comcast deal was anywhere between 7.8 and 8.2 billion. But there's lots of different suitors out there that we've already talked about, Disney and Amazon and Endeavor that owns the UFC, Saudi Arabia, even the Khans.
Yeah, I mean, well, now that Jacksonville is out of the playoffs, Tony's going to need something else to do.
Oh, they lost today.
You might as well. Yeah, they lost today. It was a close game, but they lost. They definitely shot themselves in the foot. is all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Well, Tony's gonna have to find something else to do.
Exactly. Buy WWE and tell Vince to fuck off.
Yeah. Okay. Now to our discussion of the week, and this is going to be a sad one. On Tuesday evening, there was a tweet that Tony Khan put out, said that one half of the ROH Tag Champions, Jay Briscoe, real name Jamin Pugh, passed away in a car accident. He was 38 years old. He was going to turn 39 this week on Wednesday. His brother Mark was going to turn 38 the day after, or did turn 38 the day after. So these two brothers were 51 weeks apart. So for 7 days every year, they were the same age. But in this crash, the driver of the other car, she also passed away. And also in Jay's car were his wife and two daughters. The wife she was okay, but the two daughters suffered multiple injuries, and at one point were in critical condition. When her older daughter, she had back surgery, which sucks because she was a cheerleader. They were coming back. In fact, they were coming home from a cheer event that night that the accident happened. There's a video out there that shows Jay even rehearsing a cheer routine with her that was shared again this week. That uh, put it in, the video in a different context now than what it was before. Thought.
There's many thoughts that I had the whole time we were getting this breaking news. What I want to start out with, just to get my anger out of the way, because even though we're all wrestling fans and we came to know him from wrestling, they're also human. I've said that many times. So sometimes you need to separate the athlete from the person and think of what's really going on. And it didn't just happen on the Discord servers that I'm in and the conversations that were happening there. I first saw it happen on Twitter, which can be very toxic as well. So to everyone saying, oh, but what's going to happen with Mark and the tag titles now? That is the least of their fucking worries right now.
Yeah, that'll come, but you just gotta give that time. There's no TV. There's not a TV show right now anyway, so don't even worry about that.
Yeah, y'all are worried about the wrong thing. When that is the first thought that crosses your mind, y'all are some fucked up individuals, and that's coming from this guy. So when I say it, it means something, man. So get your thoughts out of the sport and think about the people for once. If you truly respect them and love them that much, think of who they really are, not just who you see on TV. And yeah, man, it was just a very bad scenario. And we're still waiting to hear. I'm surprised we haven't heard anything yet. But they did do like a toxicology report should be coming out sometime. Why did she swerve into his lane? What was actually going on? Was she drunk? Was she texting? Like, the investigation happened. So I think eventually that's going to come out as well. And the other thing that people seem to have an issue with is that, unfortunately, Jay Briscoe wasn't wearing his seatbelt, which always wear your seatbelt.
Yeah.
Even though it's been proven that sometimes the seatbelt is a cause of death, that is very rare. And even though the lady in the other truck was wearing her seatbelt, she still passed away. So it's a bit of a double standard. That is the weird part of this, is that you never know how it's going to happen or what's actually going to happen. But you can't really blame him because she was wearing her seatbelt and passed away anyway. But still, what we need to take away from this, in the very least, is wear your seatbelt, man. Even though there's a risk of it happening still, there's a better chance of you surviving with your seatbelt on. So,
As soon as this news came out, wrestlers from both WWE and AEW and all around wrestling tweeted out their condolences to the family. Uh, if you can, if you have the Honor Club, or maybe look it up on YouTube, the Briscoes had legendary matches with lots of what are now top talent now in wrestling. In 2007, they had a ladder wars with Kevin Steen and El Generico. What are those guys up to now? I mean,
I wonder where they're at.
yeah. I mean, of course, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in the best storyline right now in wrestling. Seth Rollins gave several tweets saying that if it wasn't for Jay Briscoe, he wouldn't have ever been signed to Ring of Honor, and Tyler Black would have never become Seth Rollins.
Right.
Lots of other people said their condolences. Adam Cole and Shane Taylor, uh, even Triple H, the Usos, people that have never worked with the Briscoes. In fact, that night on NXT, there was a segment planned where the New Day, they were going to have a funeral ceremony for a Pretty Deadly's a title shot, and
They
this news,
canceled it.
fortunately, this news came out before that happened. So this was a decision by Shawn Michaels and the New Day to cancel that, and instead Vic Joseph actually passed on the news of Jay Briscoe's passing, which is good on WWE because, like I just said, they never worked for the company.
Right.
So it's another acknowledgement that there is a wrestling outside the WWE. Same for last night. Michael Cole also announced.
Yeah. Michael Cole mentioned it last night too.
Yeah, he mentioned it on SmackDown. Yeah, and AEW they had planned on turning Wednesday's Dynamite into a tribute show, like they did with Brody Lee, but because Warner Brothers Discovery had an issue with the Briscoes being on TV because of comments made a decade ago, which Jay Briscoe atoned to, and many people in the industry, like Effie and Dark Sheik, among others, forgave him for comments. Still said no, we can't have that. So instead, they went ahead. They filmed a memorial show after Dynamite and Rampage in Fresno, which will eventually air for free on Honor Club and on Ring of Honor's YouTube channel.
Yeah, And there was also people going around saying, well, we don't think Tony did enough to honor the memory of Jay Briscoe.
He tried.
Yeah. You can't blame Tony for not trying, because as soon as he got news of it, it's been made very clear that he was trying to do whatever he could to honor the memory of Jay Briscoe. But Warner Brothers Discovery, like Johnny said, did not want anything to do with that still.
So if you go to my Instagram, Johnny _from_ Wrestle Lost, I shared a TikTok I found earlier in the week of the final segment of that, or might have even been after the show from that show. It's because the main event was Claudio versus Christopher Daniels. They both stood in the ring and gave messages, their condolence, and this is what got me. Claudio was in the car earlier in the day. He was listening to a Swiss song, and he translated one of the messages from the song was something like, give me your flowers while I'm still here, not after I'm gone," which is basically saying, you tell the people that you love them, and why you still can, because we never know what tomorrow's going to bring.
Yeah. And even though, like, this is quite the tragedy and everybody's still very torn up about it, the one thing I can say is that even when Jay Briscoe was alive, we showed him how much we appreciated everything he did and the amount of punishment that he put his body through to be the badass that we saw in ring.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it like this. I'm wearing my Super Card of Honor shirt.
I should put mine on.
We went to Super Card of Honor.
Yes.
And I had always, and this is like years before. I'm talking 7, 8, 10 years ago. Even though I wasn't actively watching much other wrestling other than WWE, I still had people that were very much watching Ring of Honor, and I would always hear their name come up, to the point where I finally had to check them out. And just seeing everything they did and what the legacy they were building for themselves, and then being able to go to Super Card of Honor and able to get tickets for Michael, who hadn't been to a wrestling show in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And when he left that night, he texted me as soon as the show ended. And what he said to me was, the Briscoes and FTR. Yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah, that show got him back into wrestling.
Yeah, it for him to get back into it because of Briscoe's FTR. That is the kind of credit they all four of them deserve. And for many years to come, and even after that, people are still going to be able to view what he has done, and it's going to age very well.
Yeah, the Briscoes were Ring of Honor originals. Jay Briscoe was on the very first show 20 years ago. He was 18. Mark Briscoe wasn't even able to wrestle yet because he wasn't 18 yet.
Yeah,
But he was still he would still be at his side.
yeah. he would still be in his corner during matches and shit.
And it should be worth to point out that the match that they just had, the final battle, double dog collar match, was named Fightful's match of the year, and that was my match of the year as well. It wasn't his last match because I think he had one more indie show after that, but he went out a champion.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. And I again, it's too early to say what they're gonna do with it. The titles don't matter right now.
No.
But it's okay to discuss it, but it's not the main concern.
And by the way, that Ring of Honor, that Jay Briscoe tribute show, that's not going to be the last one they're going to do. Once they do get the TV show going on Honor Club, they're going to do a tribute there. They'll also do a tribute at this year's Supercard of Honor in LA. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he gets put into the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
This year.
Oh yeah. I think they're definitely going to put him in this year. And even if it wasn't for this reason, like he deserves to be in there. So yeah, I actually made a note of some of the statements that were put out by his wife, just clearing up what the extent of their girls' injuries were. And I felt bad to begin with, because not only did they lose their dad, but also the tough road that they have ahead of them in this grueling recovery is they shouldn't be going through that. But I do have the statements here just to give everybody an idea of what they're going through. On Wednesday, Jay's wife, Ashley, provided an update on their daughters who were in the car as well, saying Gracie was undergoing back surgery and Jay Lee has serious injuries but was stable. On Thursday, they passed along the following update from Ashley regarding Gracie and Jay Lee. Currently, the girls are stable, but they both have a very long road of recovery ahead of them. Gracie, 12, when she originally got to the hospital, said she couldn't feel anything from the waist down. She was diagnosed with an L2 dislocation and an L3 and L4 fracture in her back with compression on her spinal cord. After they stabilized her, they transferred her to another hospital, and she got feeling back in her thighs, but nothing lower than her knee. She was taken straight for an MRI and surgery on Wednesday morning around 3 a.m. The doctor was able to relieve the compression on the spinal cord, and surgery went as well as expected. When you have trauma to your spinal cord, it's a waiting game. The swelling and trauma, you just have to wait. She still has feeling in her thighs, but no movement as of yet. Gracie has tingling in her feet, off and on. Her progress will be day-to-day basis for months to come. She was bruised up pretty badly, but at this time, no other injuries have been diagnosed. Jay Lee was diagnosed with an open tibia and fibula fracture, where she underwent surgery. They placed an external fixator on and sent her back to the hospital. She has been diagnosed with a C7 fracture in her neck and has been placed in a neck brace, which she will be in for 6 weeks. She also has an L3 and L4 fracture in her back, which can be managed with a back brace for about 12 weeks. She has a right clavicle fracture from the seat belt, as well as a broken rib on the right side. She has a small left pneumothorax, which is the air between the lung and the chest wall, not inside the lung, which is just being monitored. And today, which I'm thinking this was Thursday now, she was diagnosed with a perforated bowel with free fluid in her abdomen. She had internal bleeding in her stomach area as well. What a shitload of injuries to have.
Yeah.
Like, you are going through so damn, and that's not even all of it, but that's the major shit she's going through. But they did release an update on Friday and said that she did start moving and having feeling in her lower body. So everything looks like it's going to work out, which is good. Again, still a rough road ahead of her, but we didn't expect to hear this so soon. We thought it was going to be a while before we heard that she was able to regain some sort of feeling and start recovering, which is the best thing we could ask for in the scenario that they found themselves in.
And as far as costs goes, and because I know this is going to be very costly, they're not going to have to worry about it because I know the wrestling community is going to come together and help out. And I know there's also a GoFundMe page that was set up that's already raised hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah. And not only that, Tony has said that AEW will help them out in whatever way they can. So that's also an option. If any other things come up and they find themselves in a bind, I'm pretty sure Tony will help. So
Yeah, I guess after Brody passed away, he gave Amanda a job. He gave Amanda Huber a job in the company.
yeah. So
And Brody Jr.
and Brody Jr. he's got a contract.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
He was TNT champ.
Technically, I guess you could say that.
Yeah, sure.
They gave him the belt.
Technicalities, bro. But yeah, man, it just goes to show you that nobody ever knows what's going to happen. 5 hours before the accident, he posted a picture of him and Mark where they had just gotten some real badass hats and they were showing them off. They just took a picture and put it on Twitter. So they're just out there living their normal lives. And then 5 hours later, unfortunately, tragedy struck. So I've never really been one to think that this bad stuff can happen to me, but you never really know. No, none of us really know. So I'm just glad we've seen the amount of love and support being shown to him and his family, because even though they never really broke into the mainstream, they have a lot of respect on their names for what they have done. And to be honest, if they would have gone to, let's say, WWE a lot sooner than what they intended to, who knows if they would have had this much respect,
In fact, back when those comments surfaced from Jay Briscoe's, WWE were looking at bringing him in, but they changed their minds.
Yeah. So, I mean, now all we can do is just send our best wishes to the family, send all the best wishes to his two daughters, make sure their recovery is going as well as it could, and yeah, just hope that everything is going to be okay, because this is truly something that nobody should go through.
And like we were saying earlier, you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. So, be kind to everybody. Uh, not to mean to get religious here, but you know, don't go through life holding grudges with people. I'm close with people that are like that. I, that's not how God wants us to live. Also, don't go through life uh, thinking eye for an eye. You should use the golden rule. Treat others like you want them to treat you. Because again, you never know what tomorrow brings.
Yeah. And this has been the common problem that everybody has had when talking about this. There's no easy way to move on after it.
Yeah,
So we've said what we needed to say. We've kind of voiced what we've been feeling. So unfortunately, that was it for
yeah.
the news this week.
We'll keep you updated as we get information.
Yeah, yeah. We've got people out there that are real good at what they do, and they won't put it behind a paywall or anything because that's just classless to those that do
Yeah,
that shit. So yeah, as soon as we hear anything, we'll put out tweets and stuff like that, and you'll also hear from us here. So
and we're now affiliated, so we may just pop on one day.
yeah, right. Be prepared for some more impromptu, unplanned streams from us because it's time to hustle hard, which we'll get to some things near the end of this stream. So now that we've gotten in there through the news, I'm gonna go over to Drew and get his moment for WWE this week.
I don't know. There was so much that happened last night. Of course, it's going to come from SmackDown.
It has to.
I'm probably going to steal somebody's thing. Probably, but hey, the Funhouse is back.
All right, real quick before we get into the Funhouse, and thanks for stealing my moment.
I think I stole everybody.
Zach.
It was either his moment or my moment.
Yeah, Zach, thank you for the 5 gifted subs, bro. We appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Zach. All right, please continue.
But the Funhouse is back. How happy are we that we got Abby? And although I will say Abby used some strong language last night, didn't she?
She did.
When well, I mean, I'm just surprised it took this long for her to use it, though.
What'd she say? I actually didn't. I missed the segment. What'd she say?
She got bleeped.
Oh, you know what? I think she's been bleeped before, though. I think she was in the past. Or maybe Bradley Rabbit might have been bleeped.
No, I think she's been bleeped before.
Yeah.
She probably has.
I think so.
But yeah, we just love the Funhouse, and it's back. And he warned. I just mine went. LA Knight, be careful what you wish for. You might just get it.
Because, I mean, you don't know which one we're going to see next week. Are we going to see the Fiend next week?
We don't know.
I don't think we're going to see the Fiend just yet.
You think we'll see him at the Rumble?
It would be an interesting thing to watch happen.
Because, we don't know what this pitch black match is going to be as far as the lighting goes. That Fiend can be pretty scary in the dark or dim light.
Yeah, Zach. During SmackDown, after it was right at the end of the LA Knight match, the Firefly Funhouse is back.
Yes.
So that opens it up a little bit more to me a lot of people have been saying that everything Bray has been doing is kind of stuck in its own way and wasn't moving as well. But with the Firefly Funhouse being back, Plumber's Crack and everything being
Covered up by his Firefly
covered
logo.
up by the Lou logo.
And Rambling Rabbit saying he actually likes night and scared of the dark.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Bray tells Rambling, yeah, you should be scared of the dark.
Yeah. This just keeps it unpredictable. Like I didn't know what we were going to get to begin with, but now that we've seen the Firefly Funhouse again, we truly don't know which Bray we're getting. And depending on what happens in the match at the Rumble, and if the match happens before or after the men's Rumble, it could be possible that we see him something in the Rumble as well. So it's a very interesting time to be a Bray Wyatt fan. But yeah, man, that shit was. I turned. This is gonna sound weird, but for a split second, when the Firefly Funhouse theme came back on, I turned into a little kid because by that point, when I was watching SmackDown, I had already finalized the process of becoming affiliate. So I was already working on stuff for the stream. I stopped, gave it my full attention. So yeah, who knows what that pitch black match is going to look like, but Zach just put this in chat. Pitch black match lit up by fireflies. Yeah. I mean, it looked badass every single time he did it.
Yeah,
So,
it did.
And that many lights can cast very good on the ring.
Oh yeah, yeah. We've seen it live.
Yeah. So hell, this might be the best thing we ever see. As much as I have shit on it.
And I think they're starting to expedite the storyline more because there is always that looming threat of Vince, and so they want to do all the stuff with Bray Wyatt's character that they wanted to do last time, just in case he decides to take over again, because he doesn't believe in Bray Wyatt the way Triple H does.
Yeah. That's what scares me the most of this whole Vince situation, is because we're finally starting to get somewhere. We're finally gonna have that first match, and that's just gonna send it into a tailspin. This story is gonna start moving a million miles an hour after that, and that would just put us in a world where Bray Wyatt is back having matches 100%. So, yeah, I love this, of course. So, yeah, man, I'm not prepared to say that we're sharing the moment, but curse you for stealing my moment.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. It was a big deal, so I get it. I'm fine with it. I'm fine. So now that we got Drew's moment in there, I'm gonna go over to Johnny and get his moment for WWE this week.
Okay, well, of course, just like Freddie's moments have been all about Bray Wyatt. My moments have been about the bloodline, and yeah, the story continued this week, and it's getting better by the week. So this week, uh, the show kicked off with two SUVs. One with Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns, and the other with the rest of the bloodline, the Usos and Sammy and Solo. And they all got out and they started high fiving and fist bumping and just celebrating. Sammy went to go bump Roman. Roman just walked past him. And later on, it was there was a backstage segment when uh, you know uh, Roman just asked Sammy, what's going on, what's wrong with him, and Sammy said that he was upset that the bloodline caused the DQ last week with the match with Kevin Owens, that he thought that Roman wanted him to take care of it by himself, that he could have done it by himself. Uh, and so then Sammy started saying, well, maybe Kevin Owens is right, that y'all shouldn't be trusted. And Roman just goes off on him. Roman he tells him to leave. He's saying, like, since when do I need the honorary permission to do something? So later on, Paul Heyman and Roman are back in the locker room or dressing room, and Paul tells Roman, maybe we need to not upset Sammy. We need to keep him around at least until after the Kevin Owens match. So Roman says, "Yeah, you're right." So later on, he apologizes to Sammy for getting upset with him and having them interfere in the match. And then this time he does accept the fist bump from Sami Zayn. He tells Sammy, go ahead and get all the arrangements for us to leave after SmackDown. And the last segment of the show was the contract signing for the title match at the Rumble with Kevin and Roman. Roman Reigns is out there already waiting for Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, instead of him coming down the ramp, he comes to the crowd and just immediately starts attacking the bloodline. He attacks Solo. He attacked the Usos. He put Roman through the table. And after all that happened, after the bloodline had been beaten by Kevin, then Sami Zayn comes out after the fact. So now what's going to happen next week? Is Roman going to get on to Sami again for not showing up to help them? This I think this is going to lead up to Sami turning on the bloodline at the Rumble. We got one more week.
One more week. I'm very excited about this. Here's my thing. Why the hell? It's been a couple of weeks that this has been happening, and unfortunately, it isn't the last time. But like Zach just said, is it finally the end for Sammy?
I don't think
I kind of hope so, because the things that Roman says to him and just how sad he gets when Roman tells him these things.
Yeah.
It's breaking people's hearts, man. All right. Haven't we had enough heartbreak this week? We need this shit to happen as well. When Roman told Sammy, why don't you go find your own bloodline? Like, wow, why you gotta be so cold? He's done nothing but try and help, man. And this is the way you treat him? There's a couple of different theories I have heard of, but I know there's one that Johnny wants to bring up because this is the one we heard today.
So this morning on Denise Salcedo was hosting Busted Open Radio with Mark Henry. They were talking about SmackDown and Rampage, and she had a theory that I never even considered. What if Paul Heyman is going to side with Sami Zayn? What if Sami Zayn is going to be the next Paul Heyman guy? And they both turn on the bloodline.
Which is a damn good theory. It's something that I never thought of this whole time.
Yeah.
But we know Paul Heyman has a track record of betraying who he sided with. And he's been siding with Roman Reigns for a very long time. So it might be time. Just like he turned on Brock Lesnar, could be time for him to turn on Roman. And that's when he helps Sammy somehow win the championship from him. That's a big if, but I think it could happen. Or like Zach, he just said, ain't no way. But yeah, man, I think it could very much happen. There's also another theory I started seeing being thrown around on Twitter, which would be a little bit weird, but in a way, it could be Kevin Owens' way of helping sabotage the bloodline. So whenever he signed the contract, you know how he threw it at Sami Zayn? I didn't notice this. I had to go back and take another look at it. But Sami had this what the fuck look on his face after he looked at the contract. So now some people are saying, what if Kevin Owens signed Sami Zayn's name on the contract? And it's actually going to be Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn at the Rumble. That's a stretch. It's a bit of a stretch. But to further push that along, people are also, booking it the way they would book it, which we have done here a couple of times with a lot of things as well. They're saying, what if Kevin Owens comes out during the acknowledge celebration they're having on Raw and says, hey, I know I signed the contract, but it's not my name on the contract. And that's how he interrupts that whole thing. And that's when throws the contract in the ring. Roman picks it up and sees that Sami Zayn's name is on it. It would be a very weird way of going about it, but it could be interesting that Kevin Owens just gives up his chance at the title to watch his best friend get what he deserves and pay back on the bloodline for the way they're treating him. I don't put it past WWE. I don't put it past Triple H. He's a very smart man. And he's proven that he can do this shit really well. So if this is something he cooked up in his brain and we're just picking it up on the little hints, I'm down for it. But everything with the bloodline, everything with Kevin Owens, everything with Sami Zayn is the best thing going on in WWE right now. So I just had to throw those thoughts in there as well of stuff I had been reading today. And Y'all took the best moments, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
This is my own thing for going at the very end.
yeah, there really wasn't much going on this week in WWE.
Yeah, but I'm just to throw one of my other frame moments in there of the night. Even though they're called the Banger Bros, I'm still gonna call them the Bang Bros because I like that name a lot more. Yeah,
Of course you do.
the Banger Bros defeating the Viking Raiders. What a match, man!
Yeah,
Like I know shows have to start strong and end strong, and we've said everything in the middle. As long as it keeps us invested, it works. This was probably the one SmackDown where I kept my full attention. They never let the foot off the gas. Even in this match, man, because this followed a, the Bloodline intro, which is a hard thing to follow. But yeah, just Sheamus and Drew McIntyre taking on the Viking Raiders. It was everything you thought it was going to be. Just hard hitting, bro. That's the best way I can put it. And like I said, to those that know the Bang Bros, everything's always hard hitting. Of course, I was going to say something like that. So now that we've gone through our moments of WWE, I'm gonna go back to Drew and get his moment of AEW.
No. AEW is always the hardest to pick from because there's just so much. Let's go with Top Flight and Young Bucks match,
All right.
which was a very fast-paced tag match with the surprise of Top Flight getting the pin, getting the win. So, yeah, it was a good match all the way around. Just so much action. It never stopped. It did. And I know at least once they used the Briscoes finishing move to try to win. The Young
Yeah.
Bucks did.
yeah,
It didn't work, but they used it, which was great seeing the tribute to Jay there. But yeah, it was a great match.
Yeah, it was a really good match. I also here's the thing about the Young Bucks. You always expect them to win because they're just that damn good. But you can't deny Top Flight and their talent.
Yeah.
And it's like I said a couple of weeks ago. I'm just glad that they're staying healthy and that they're finally putting together a string of victories. And
Yeah.
for them to get the win here on the Young Bucks, hell of a move. Like, yeah, and then like the callback to the Briscoes by them doing their finishing move. Yeah. It was everything I wanted it to be and then some.
And
Because
it kind of reminded me of the very first Dynamite
yeah.
in the tag team tournament where the Young Bucks lost to Private Party in the first match.
Yeah.
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 They took the loss to showcase the new kids, the young
Yeah.
kids, not the new kids, but the younger kids. So
Yeah, and at AEW, they're gonna have to build new stars in the tag team division because, FTR they're gonna take time off, and the the Young Bucks are they're now in the trios division, so they're gonna need some new stars like Private Party and the Top Flight. And
Although this could set up a trios match with Top Flight and AR Fox, who won the $300,000
yeah,
trios thing.
I mean they deserve it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it could even put them in line for the Acclaim's titles too.
I would say, yeah. This puts them in a very good spot. Yeah, man, it was a really good match, and AEW is doing a really good thing right now in building newer tag teams. Like we got Jungle Hook that they're starting to get behind. Some people think they're going to be broken up pretty soon, but they just got together, so I don't think they'll do. And there's always more people they could pair up. So yeah, I'm not worried about their tag division. It's something that Tony has always done real well on. So I think he's going to continue. So now that we got Drew's moment in there, I'm going to go over to Johnny and get his moment for AEW this week.
So like Drew was saying, there were a lot of moments. There was a lot of good matches on Dynamite this week, and I'm having trouble deciding between two matches. But I'm gonna go for the main event with Darby Allin and Kushida. This is the first time that a lot of fans have seen Kushida. Yeah, he was in NXT for a while. A lot of fans know more from New Japan, and this is Darby's third defense since winning the title. He defeated Mike Bennett and Juice Robinson, and he got the win here. It was, but he had to fight for it. Kushida wasn't letting up with his the Japanese strong style type of wrestling that he does. He targeted Darby's arm a lot during the match. The one move that I liked was Kushida was on the outside and Darby went to the top and was going to do a shotgun drop kick to the outside, but Kushida caught him and turned it into an armbar, which was incredible. In the ring,
he seems to do that a lot.
yeah. In the ring, Kushida was going to put him in the hoverboard lock, which that was his. It's been his finisher. It wasn't in NXT in New Japan, but Darby managed to use his good arm to get him into the Last Supper pin that he does to get the win. And I thought it was a good match overall, and it was a tune-up for Darby for tonight when him and Sting are going to be in that match with the Great Muta.
What a position to find yourself in.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that we get to see this, because we know that Sting isn't going to get a lot of time in that match. Yeah. But just to have the image of Darby and Sting there with the Great Muta, it's going to be an amazing night, and I can't wait. I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah.
But
man. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Yeah, man, but Darby doing this thing against Kushida, yeah, it was a hell of a match, and I enjoyed it very much. So, for my moment, It was after the Tony Storm Willow Nightingale match. I didn't expect Saraya to attack Willow. Even though a lot of people seem to think that these last couple of weeks Saraya has been acting a little bit more heelish than normal, I still did not expect for this to happen.
Yeah, we thought Sheeta would turn heel, not.
Yeah, we all thought Sheeta was going to be the one to turn heel.
But no, it looks like it's going to be Saraya and Tony.
Yeah. And I'm going to be completely honest. For the way AEW is run, it makes sense for Saraya to be a heel because I think she's going to speak more freely and it fits her attitude more for her to be a heel. My only question mark on that whole situation is how's Tony Storm going to handle it? Because I like her more as a face. But I know she can be a pretty good heel too. So I'm just going to keep an open mind, and I know whatever Tony has planned for them too is going to be intense because how can it not be?
Yeah.
And then there's still the thought looming in everybody's mind about when is Mercedes Moné going to come in to the whole situation.
Yeah, because now a lot of people are starting to say, well, now this is building to like a war between ex WWE wrestlers and AEW homegrown talent.
Yeah.
Because
So-
on one side you have uh, Saraya and Tony Storm and a Ruby Soho, Athena. You know, I've heard Serena Deeb thrown in there, and then on the other side you have Britt Baker, Sheeta, Jamie Hayter, and yes, even Jade Cargill. So yeah, I know a lot of people were saying, well, that this could be their first women's blood and guts match.
Yeah, whichever one they decide to go with, because it could either be blood and guts or it can be like a stadium stampede match. Like, just let them do this, and I think they will. I think they'll do the originals versus the WWE thing. It's what makes sense right now with how they're doing it. So yeah, man, the unpredictability of this and finally getting to the point where this women's division should have been all along, where I know it could have eventually been. I'm just glad we're finally there. So, hell yeah, man. I love that good shit. So, lots of good shit. But now that we've gone through our moments of the week, we're going to go and do some predictions for the Rumble, even though there's not a lot of matches out there. So I'm just going to go down the list real quick and get your thoughts on who you think is going to win. So we're going to start off with Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight in the Pitch Black match. Drew, who you got?
Bray Wyatt, or whatever character he chooses to be that night. Or maybe he's all 6 characters. I don't know.
Yeah, there's no telling who he's going to be, but we'll take that. Johnny, who you got?
Well, of course, you can't have Bray Wyatt lose on his first night back. I mean, unless Vince was involved, but be helping. We said one more week, but no, I think Bray's going to win.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people been saying maybe LA Knight wins, and that's what finally pushes him that little bit more he needed to go over the edge, and that's how he goes full insane. But it falls apart a little bit for me for LA Knight when he said something along the lines of "I thrive in the dark." Like he does well in that situation. You've been beat up in the dark, bro. We found you laid out
several
twice.
times,
Yeah,
several times in the dark.
yeah. So it falls apart a little bit. I think if they have LA Knight win, it's not going to be a good look for Bray. So, yeah, I think Bray Wyatt definitely has to win this or whatever version of him we get. So, for the following match on the card, a bit hard to tell who's going to win, but the Women's Royal Rumble. Drew, who you got?
Raquel Rodriguez. You imagine her and Charlotte at Mania?
I could, just because I think I'm not sure how tall Raquel Rodriguez really is, but I think she could be taller than Charlotte. So, yeah, it
And
could be a hell of a sight. So, all right, Johnny, who you got?
I think it's going to be Rhea Ripley because they've been building her up with the Judgment Day and all the Dominic stuff, and that she's even able to like manhandle the male wrestlers. I think she can dominate.
All right. Uh Me personally, just from what I'm seeing, and just to be a little bit different, seeing as you already took Rhea and how Andrew took Raquel. I think there has to be something with the little bit of focus they put on Liv Morgan and her really set on coming out number one. I think they could give her that Iron Woman spot and have her go the distance. So I'm gonna say Liv Morgan. I'm really not hoping it's who Zach just brought up. So he said, "Oh, it may be old, but I see Lacey Evans is getting another gimmick. Is she though? It's like a lot of the same to me. It's
Yeah,
all the same umbrella.
it doesn't seem like anyone's interested in her.
yeah,
Yeah,
doesn't seem like it. And we've always known she's been a Marine. That's
Yeah.
what they've always talked about. So not
yeah. It's nothing new to those that have been around and seen what she has done before. It's not a surprise, but yeah, Zach agrees with you, Johnny. Says he could see Rhea. So
And it's also worth the note, and I forgot to mention this earlier, but the news did come out that Ronda's not going to be at the Rumble this year.
I don't know what that deal is all about, but
Yeah,
I know they have plenty of surprises ready to go. So we're fine with that, I guess. Ronda doesn't need to be there for this one.
yeah.
So from the women's rumble to the men's rumble. Drew, who you got?
okay. I know I made the prediction at the end of the year things, but I'm actually changing it now.
All right.
think it's going to be Cody. As much as they're talking to his big thing and returning for the Rumble, why would they do that if they're not planning on him winning?
All right.
And I've heard several ways that people talk about it's a way for him to separate the titles because he just wants the WWE title because it's the one his dad never had.
Yeah.
So yeah, he could just come out and say, I could care less about the Universal title. Keep it. I just want that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go Cody.
That's a good one. I think a lot of people are going to side with you on that one, but we'll see. Johnny, who you got?
Tamatonga. No, just kidding. Although he might show up. No, I agree with Drew. I think it's going to be Cody as well. In fact, I had a feeling Cody was going to win it as soon as they said he was going to be out with the injury. Of course, this it'll be his comeback story. Just like Cena in 08. He'll come back. Even though Cena was a surprise and they already announced Cody, but yeah, I think he's still going to win, and they may even give him the Iron Man spot. He might start. Maybe he might get the number 1 or 2 pick and stay in there the whole time.
Yeah, Edge did it last year. Won it,
Yeah.
Edge. Yeah, Edge went number 1 and won it last year. So been done a few times. Not sure how many times.
A couple years ago, 2021.
Yeah.
Last year was probably the worst Rumble that they've ever had.
Yeah. A lot of people have labeled it that, so it wasn't really good.
And this year could be probably the best Rumble that they are.
Yeah. So Zach says John Cena crying with laughter face. No.
I'm not the only one.
You know, Bad Bunny's gonna get a spot in the Rumble like he did last year.
No. And Kev says, how about not bringing back so many legends and maybe bring up some NXT superstars?
True. Yeah. Because Cody has been in the performance and working out with Carmelo Hayes and Joe Gacy. So
yeah. I could see Braun Breaker being in there.
Yeah.
He's bound to move up to main roster anyway. So yeah, I could see that happen. As far as my choice, Jay White.
Nice.
I mean, look, the rumor's there, right?
Yeah.
And he's no longer in New Japan. So I would love to see Jay White, but if he's not going to be there, then yeah, Cody, man. Cody's it for me. I think he deserves it. After doing what he did with AEW, leaving, coming in and getting that gnarly injury, and still having a hell of a match against Seth Rollins, and just his recovery, his roads to recovery, as they say it.
Yeah.
And just fighting through it all and coming back. Yeah, I think they get Cody to win. So if it's not Jay White, it's Cody. That's my prediction. So for the next to final match on the card for the Raw Women's Championship, Bianca Belair versus Alexa Bliss.
I would like to see Alexa win. She probably won't, but I won't pick Alexa. Why not?
I'm also going to pick Alexa, and I think she will win. I think Bianca's had that title long enough. It's time for for a change, and it would be nice to have uh, if she is going to be part of the Bray storyline, to have the women's champion on your side.
Damn right. Yeah, I'm going to Alexa Bliss as well. I think even though she's not my cup of tea, Bianca Belair has had her fair share of time with the title, and she's had some pretty decent matches. So yeah, I just think it's time for Alexa Bliss to get another shot at it, and for her to get an actual decent run. So yeah, I'm in for Alexa Bliss as well. And Kev agrees also. He's going with Alexa Bliss. And Zach says, I'd love to say Bliss, but just like last week, it was interrupted and she was disqualified. So yeah, I'm just putting all the hopes that I have on Triple H. And I know he thinks differently just because of everything he did for the NXT Black and Gold. Yeah, I'm putting all my hope in Triple H. So for the final match of the night, for now, for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens.
If it's Kevin Owens.
If it's Kevin.
I'm picking Roman unless they pull that swerve and Kevin wrote Sammy's name, then I'll pick Sammy. Oh.
All right. So all depends on what happens Monday.
Yeah, because I'm gonna pick Roman as well, just because I don't think it's quite the time yet for him to lose the title. It's coming up, but this isn't it.
Yeah, if he's going to lose the title, it has to be on a bigger stage just because of how big of a star he is now.
You're telling me the Royal Rumble isn't a big stage? It's one of the top 4.
I'm just saying there's a bigger stage, and that is WrestleMania.
Now, I'm not saying maybe Kevin Owens does get the win, but by DQ.
Well, they've done that before.
They did that last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people would be mad, but I could also see them doing that. Just so it protects Roman as he moves into the Rumble or into the WrestleMania. Yeah, I think Roman retains. As long as he's had it, he needs to lose it when all the spotlight is on the biggest event of the year. And WrestleMania is so close that they might as well hold off. But if they don't do it at WrestleMania, how much longer is he going to hold on to it? We need that change. So, yeah, those are just our predictions for what matches we have knowledge of for the Rumble. So, okay. So, when we started, I spoke of something I not necessarily wanted to do, but I'm going to throw it out there just to see if we're actually able to make this happen. So I set a sub goal for 100 subs. And the deadline, I mean, we can hit 100 whenever y'all want. But I'm setting a deadline for the end of our Royal Rumble watch along. And not Drew, not Johnny. They normally, whenever we discuss stuff for the podcast, I fill them in on everything I'm thinking. This is just something I thought of today. So they know nothing of what I'm about to say. if we hit our 100 sub goal by the end of the Royal Rumble stream, I will go get a new tattoo. And that new tattoo is going to be "You Can't See Me."
That's great.
So let's go, folks.
Yeah.
So
Spread the word. Get
I
us to
will
100.
get the John Cena "You Can't See Me" tattoo on my wrist right here. I got this gap right here. That's where I will get it. And we all know my hate for John Cena, the character. So
He will have that on there for the rest of his life.
for the rest of my life, I will have
Unless
John
he
Cena tattoo.
unless he gets the money to have it removed, which he probably won't.
No. If I'm getting it, it's staying. Because it costs way too much and it's way too painful to get it removed. So that's the plan. If we meet our sub goal by the end of the Royal Rumble stream, I will go get this John Cena tattoo. And I will live stream it. Thanks for the sub, Zach. Thanks a lot. We're up to 7. We're almost 1/10 of the way there. This is not gonna go well for me, is it?
Let's go, people. Let's go, people.
Again, spread the word.
Get them subs.
I'm sure we're gonna clip this out and put it on social media.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick to my promise. I did tell Johnny that I was gonna clip this and that I'm gonna put it everywhere so it starts circulating. So let's do it. Let's get us to 100 subs, please.
Get to 100 and more after that.
Yeah, don't stop there. So now that I've thrown that out there to see how it goes, like always, it is time to stump the brain.
Okay. Rumble questions. I know you love your Rumble questions during Rumble Mania season. Rumble Mania? Yeah.
Rumble Mania. There you go.
The new pay-per-view.
Yes.
Don't get any ideas, you Saudis.
Who has the most eliminations in a single women's Royal Rumble?
Hey, Johnny, who has the most eliminations?
Eliminations in single.
Was that Spanish?
No.
And this shouldn't be too hard because we've only had like 4 of them, or 3 of them, 4 women's rumbles. I'm thinking of 2 people.
You've had 5.
What? Oh, 5 rumbles. Oh.
5 women's rumbles, yeah.
18, 19. Yeah, you're right. 5. I forgot what year we were in there for a second. And I'm thinking of 2 people because I think there might even be a tie, but maybe not. I'm going to say Shayna Baszler.
You're actually correct. It is a tie.
With Michelle McCool.
No. It's Shayna Baszler and Bianca Belair.
Oh, okay.
They both eliminated 8 women in the 2020 Rumble.
I only said Michelle McCool because I think she had the record first.
Yeah, she had 5 in 2018.
Yeah, since that was the first Rumble, she had the record.
Not
But
bad,
it's
not bad.
it's Shayna and Bianca with 8 in 2020.
I think Rhea has a pretty good shot of breaking that one this year.
Yeah,
Or maybe even Shayna breaking her own record.
yeah. That wouldn't be a bad spot to see if
Or
Shayna
maybe
was able to go in there and break her own record.
there's also Raquel.
Yeah. Or if they really want to do the Liv Morgan,
Yeah, since she said she's going to be in there the longest.
yeah, she could also have a chance at breaking it. So, yeah, there's a lot of things to look forward to this coming week. The Acknowledge Me celebration they're doing with the Bloodline, the last week leading up into the Rumble. Are we going to get The Rock or not? There's a lot of questions there that need answering. So, it's going to be a hell of a week. So, like always, if you have any questions or comments, wrestlelost@gmail.com, WrestleLost on Facebook, and don't forget to give us a sub here on Twitch. No
And
pressure. Don't
yeah,
break the bank. If you don't have it, don't do it. Please save me.
and we're gonna be back here tonight at midnight for a live watch along. Pro Wrestling Noah is gonna present the Great Muda's final bye bye.
Well, they will.
Yeah, well they would, which is gonna have, it's gonna have 10 matches. Half of those five matches are going to be 6-man matches, one 8-man match, and two singles matches and 2 tag matches.
Yeah. So it's going to be a hell of a night. 2 of us are going to be back for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be fun and interesting. So, if y'all are able to be here, that would be awesome. So, for those of you that aren't going to be able to, hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we will see y'all next week.
See you next week for our live Rumble watch along.
Damn right.
Check you later.